Hi, Matt. Nice to see you again. The last time we met, you ended the session by saying, I'm not afraid to die on a plane. Said, yet you experience being out of control and some panic symptoms while flying. I'm a little confused about the contradiction of you saying you're not afraid to die and yet feeling the panic on the plane. Can you explain what you meant by saying that and why you wanted me to know that?
Well, I just went on a trip last weekend, so um, I did have an interesting experience about it. But I was sitting in aisle 8, and I experienced. I guess the experience is more like being trapped. Maybe not, you know, being trapped in a closed area. Not that I don't feel like the plane is gonna crash, or I think I would be more scared of running out of air.
I see.
I guess I don't know if that answers your question, but
So you're more concerned about the physical symptoms that you're feeling with when you're having um, the panic type symptoms, the not breathing, and you think more about losing air
right,
rather than the plane crashing.
right. I don't have any fear that the plane would crash. I would have a fear that if something were to happen, I would be trapped. People were trying to get off the plane. Maybe there was a fire or something. I don't know what scenario it would be, but I just feel like I don't have the freedom to get out from the. Well, I was sitting in 8 all the way by the window, so I couldn't sit there.
Right.
And so I switched spots. At least I was in the aisle, and I still had trouble. Still started to get scared. Sitting in the middle. And on the way back, I sat in the front row, which was like the upgraded seats, and I didn't have any problem at all.
Now, do you feel that that being in the front has more air for you? Are you?
Maybe
I
more
mean,
in
do you really
control that
feel?
I
Do you
can.
feel? Is it that you feel like you're more in control, and that? Can you tell me what the process is for you in thinking between row 2 and row 8?
I think I'm good as long as there's not too many people in front of me. So it must be something with trying to get off the plane, is what I assume.
And I hear you saying that it's the people in front of you, and I'm also wondering if perhaps you're afraid that with all of the people in front of you that you may lose control a bit, and you might um, perhaps even lash out at those people
Mm.
if you felt
I just feel
cornered.
I just feel like they're in my way, right? Like I don't want people in my way. Maybe must be.
And have you?
I can only imagine like if there was a kind of fire. I mean, if I was sitting in the emergency exit, I would still have the bad sensation. I think, even though there's probably an escape hatch right there, but I just don't like all those people in front of me on the plane, for sure. Looking at the back of all those heads is like
And what is
very
it
scary.
specifically about the back of their heads? Do you think
I
that?
just feel like crowded, maybe.
Do you experience that sensation in other areas of your life? If
Only
you
get
have many
scared.
people in front of you, like if
Elevator.
if you're in a crowd
I
or
wouldn't go into an elevator if there was more than like just two people.
and the same feelings, the same
Mm-hmm.
exact same sensations, and
Right.
so
Like
on.
even though I know you can probably push up the tile or something, and you would be able to get to.
That's funny because I have a similar situation in elevators where as soon as I go in an elevator, I automatically um, think about what my exit strategy could be in case of emergency or
Mm-hmm.
if it's plummeting or and I'm forever looking at the tile and
Mm-hmm.
the ceiling and wondering if I could get it, if I could reach it. Do you
Mm-hmm.
find yourself doing that as well?
Um. Yeah, it definitely like if it's an older elevator, I just won't. I wouldn't even go in it. If it looks anything shaky, like anything older, I think it would break down, get stuck. But there. I don't know if there's a different reason for that, because somehow my uncle, when I was a kid, when we would ride an elevator, I forgot about this, but he would hit the fire stop on it, and they would always like pretend like the elevator got stuck when I was
Oh.
younger, and they even opened it up, the elevator doors, like in between levels.
When all you saw was like the concrete wall or
Yeah.
something.
And then the top you could see out or something like that. But they
And
would.
do you find any connection between how you felt then
It
in
scared
that
me.
situation as, say, on the plane, even, or in an elevator? Did you have the same
I mean,
fear of running out of air?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in the elevator, it's. I mean, I wouldn't put myself in a situation. Like when I was in Orlando, like maybe 5 months ago or something like that, there was a big group that came in at that time. And, like all these people on the elevator, I'm like, I don't care. I'll walk up the steps because there's
Right.
12 people getting on this
Right.
elevator, and then this elevator goes up and gets stuck. I feel like I would, have a real hard time breathing if
Right.
and people would be around me and I would be out of control where I couldn't move out of that situation, couldn't go where I wanted to do what I needed to do.
So is part of it, do you think that part of it is this need to be able to have an escape, an instant escape if you are uncomfortable?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, because I mean, I don't feel like, oh, I'm afraid to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like I know I don't want to die by suffocation, that's for sure.
Right.
I don't want to die because I drowned it or too far underwater, or
Right.
I don't
I
wanna
hope
be
that you're not upset with me because I asked you that question.
No, no. But I don't want to be gasping for air. I guess I don't like that sensation.
Right.
Reminds me of thinking about it. Reminds me of like a old movie where they kidnapped the the lady and put her in a coffin with just a pipe of air and a little fan. I would rather be shot in the head than ever be put through anything like that.
That's interesting. I It sounds like maybe all of those experiences have perhaps led to where you are now. Perhaps maybe the elevator with your uncle,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you mentioned the last time um, being in a pool with your uncle and him holding you underwater,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously you wouldn't be able to breathe
kinda
underwater.
like,
And then movies as well,
right.
seeing elevator, people trapped in elevators and so on in movies, and it sounds like perhaps all of that has maybe a trigger
Mm-hmm.
for what you experience now on a plane, even though you say you're perfectly content to die when it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't want to die by suffocation.
Right.
So on your last trip that you
Mhm.
just took, um, did you experience, other than on the way there with once you changed seats,
Mm-hmm.
were you able to
There was
talk to yourself,
like,
self-talk? What methods did you use in order to help you stay grounded and calm?
I like had to pretty much had to like bury my head in almost like a pillow and just try to stay calm. And I ordered a soda and ate like the whole time like a nervous kind of eating nuts or something. So it was definitely uncomfortable. And there was a lady next to me, and I think that was another issue too. There was somebody sitting next to me, and I could have just pushed her out of the way because she just didn't need to be sitting there. There was other seats she could have moved to, and there was 3 people in our aisle, 1 person in the other aisle. It was just, I felt like, she didn't need to be in that space. So definitely on the trip back, I normally check, and on the trip back there was 2 open seats in the front. I mean, even though it cost $60 a person, I didn't care what it cost. It could have been $100 a person. I was still
Right.
riding up front on the way back from the trip.
So do you? It sounds like that a lot of it really is control,
Yeah.
and the fact that you can't control who's around you and what they're doing, and you cannot get away from perhaps people that you don't want to have around you.
Right.
In your normal on the ground life, you would be able to leave the room, walk home, leave the party, whatever. But it sounds like on the plane that it really is that you don't want to be around
Right.
people.
I mean, I definitely feel like I'm in control. Where I am.
Right.
I can escape. I guess like you said, I can definitely escape the whatever I'm doing. You know,
Right.
I can leave work when I'm ready. I can leave the grocery store if I don't feel like
Right.
being there.
So, um, I feel what you're saying. I think
Can't escape elevator. Yeah.
No.
Can't escape the plane.
yes, and like I said, I can totally relate to that feeling of being trapped, and I don't enjoy that feeling of being trapped as well. And I've done many different things in my life to avoid situations like that where I don't trap feel so I won't feel trapped. And I'm just wondering um, whether or not you normally use distraction as a way to cope with it, because you said that you were eating and so on different things to sounds like different things that you do to distract yourself to kind of tune out not only everybody who's around you but the own feeling that you're feeling inside. And I just wondered if you'd ever tried to maybe sort of allow it in and to experience the feeling and to kind of breathe through it and to know that you'd be okay and you'd get through it. Do you feel like that's something?
No. I mean, I feel like the one time I did have to do that because there was nothing I could do. I really, literally was trapped by the window in the back of the plane. I completely got so hot. I had to go splash water on my face. The flight attendant screaming at me that I can't be, up at this time.
Right, I remember you said.
And I didn't care. If they could have landed that thing, they could have took me to jail. I wouldn't even care. It was more like, just get me out of here. Get me away from this situation of feeling trapped.
And do you have any upcoming trips?
No.
Are you grounded for a while?
Grounded till at least October.
Oh, till October.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you would like to discuss today? Or?
No, not at this time.
Thank you for coming to see me today, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.